citing Site Selection magazine, ranking Cincinnati, USA 6th in the nation for new and expanded corporate facilities. This is the 10th consecutive year we've been ranked in Site Selection's top 10. That news came just days after the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber named Denise Ferguson as Senior Vice President and the Executive Director of the Cincinnati USA Partnership. Ferguson joined the Chamber last August as Vice President of Economic Development. She'd previously served as the President and CEO of the Lansing Area Economic Partnership in Michigan. In this morning's Business Insight, Denise Ferguson joins our Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer to talk about what's ahead for the economic development in the city of Cincinnati. Rob and Denise.
Brian, thank you. Denise, thanks very much for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
They brought you down here. You came down here from Michigan because you have a vision.
Yes.
What is that vision?
Yes, it's to take Cincinnati to a whole new level. We have certainly had wonderful results in economic development, as you see by the site selection ranking, but there's a whole lot more for us to do, and in a new way, with a new strategy that's been developed in Cincinnati and with the Jobs Ohio partnership.
Now, tell me a little bit about Jobs Ohio, because Jobs Ohio in itself is so new. Matter of fact, I don't even know if they've even moved into offices yet up in Columbus, but that's a very interesting dynamic up in Columbus. How are you at the partnership going to be working with the state or Jobs Ohio?
Sure, very closely. We are the Southwest Ohio Network partner, and there are 6 different regions that are partnering with the state. And essentially what it does is bring us all closer to the state and working more closely with the team at Jobs Ohio in a coordinated effort and with some new tools that are coming to help incentivize our companies to grow here in Ohio.
What are those tools?
They're working on the development of those, but they will be different than the traditional economic development tools, looking at things like loans and grants and different programs that will help us to really work with the companies to grow on their terms here in Ohio.
You talk about money, so everything's about money here. Where are you getting your money, and how's that going to work, and how does Jobs Ohio sort of fit into that?
Great. Yes, we've had a number of wonderful investors from the region, both in the private sector and on the public sector side with communities that have invested in the partnership for over 25 years, so we appreciate that quite a bit. With the Jobs Ohio opportunity, that is a matching grant opportunity, so with the dollars that we bring in and spend on economic development, we have the opportunity to match up to $2.6 million to bring down to spend further on these efforts here in the region.
I keep wanting to use the word radical when we talk about the kind of economic development that could happen, and it really is happening already with not just Jobs Ohio, but with the partnership and everything that you hope to do. Is that fair? I mean, this really feels very different to me as somebody who's been watching the city for a long time. How different is this from what we have been doing?
It will definitely be different. I like the term radical. Radical results is what we're focused on. So a year ago when Dave Doherty was brought into the partnership as the interim executive director, his charge was to develop a new strategy for the partnership. We've always done attraction, we've always worked on expansion, but it was really to shift the focus, not move away from any of those things for sure, but to get really deep with our companies. So one of my objectives is to ensure that we really deliver on being one of the best places for businesses to grow and one of the most attractive places for highly sought after talent. So that means working with the companies a lot more closely and regularly, which is one of the goals.
And how about working with like Cincy Tech, for instance, or some of the other incubators in town? Is that going to be part of your mission at all, or is that sort of separate?
Absolutely. There are incredible efforts in place around innovation, and innovation is something that starts at that early stage idea and goes all the way through the great big companies as well. So we'll be partnering with them on that with a cluster-based economic development approach, which essentially means we look at all of our assets here and decide what industries are most meaningful to Cincinnati and where we can see the most profound growth. So we will work with a lot of those big companies and mid and small and connect with Cincy Tech, the Brandery, and everyone else working in that early stage space to be sure that we're supporting companies all the way through.
Now, for people who don't understand what clusters are, basically, if you could just tell us really quickly what they are, and then what are 2 or 3 things that Cincinnati, in your opinion, maybe should be focusing on?
Sure. So from a cluster perspective, it's an agglomeration of interrelated companies that depend on each other through supply chain and other things. And there are a number that we're very strong in Cincinnati. Manufacturing has been and will continue to be one of those. Finance and insurance is another large cluster for us as well. One that's really interesting to me personally, and one of the reasons that I came, is a cluster that's different. Many communities focus focus on similar clusters like some that I've mentioned. But here we have incredible brand builders on a global stage. I think that we can legitimately claim that we are sort of the center of the world, if you will, from a CPG, consumer packaged goods perspective, and from brand building. We have amazing agencies, and we will be putting that forward as a reason to be here in Cincinnati.
Right. Well, good luck. And again, congratulations on your new job.
Thank you very much.